Welcome to Google Outreach Trainers channel. My name is Shiva. I am a trainer from India. In this video, we'll be talking about mobile data collection and publishing in real time using ODK Collect app, Google Sheets, and Google App Script. And the data will be collected in real time, collected and published in real time to personal web page. So let's get started with it. So let's start with the XLS forms. So as you're all aware, XLS forms are the universal generic for template form templates for mobile data collection and other kinds of forms. So an XLS form generally has a survey and a settings tab as a mandatory tab. So we are going to use Excel sheets for creating this form, and then in that the survey and settings and the choices tab will be used. In the survey tab, I'm going to define a few simple survey questions like the respondent name, age, gender, and income. Survey form generally should have three mandatory columns: type, name, and label. Um because we have a drop down question here, so we can define the drop down values in the choices tab, and in the settings tab we need to define the form title and form id, which can be anything that you want. The submission URL column is generally used for defining the data storage platform, that is, in this case, it is going to be the Google Sheets. So, what I'm going to do is the URL that is mentioned over here is the Google Sheet URL that I have created online, and I have copied I have set the shared setting to anyone with the link can edit, and then I have copied the link and then pasted it into submission URL. So in this case, the Google Sheet that I have created has already been used for with the same form. So please don't mind that. Um, and now let's compile the form that I have created using the online compiler. Um, let's go to the form and then say compile this, and then we'll get the download the XML file and then load it into your Google Drive where your data sheet or the Google Sheet is present. So now you need to I'll show you how to configure your ODK Collect app. Your ODK Collect app needs to be configured for accessing your Google Sheets and your Google Drive. So what I will do is I'll basically go to general settings, server settings, and then pick the storage platform, which by default will be ODK aggregate. In this case, I'll set it to Google Sheets, and then I'll set the account. This is the Google account that has access to all these resources. So, and then I'll go back to the main menu, and then I'll say get blank form. I'll click on the get blank form. So before I do this, I'll make sure I'll go to the Google account security settings, and then set the access to less secure apps uh, on. I'll set it on. So, and then only I'll be able to access the Google Drive from my ODK Collect app. So then what I'll do is I'll go to the folder where my XML form is loaded, and then I'll pick that up and download that and come back to the main menu. So I'll click on the fill blank form, look for the form that I just now imported, and then fill some data into it. So I'll just save the keyed in form, and then what I'll do is, before I send this data to the server, uh, I'll go to the Google Sheets, which is ready to accept my data. So what I do is, I'll go to the app, and then I'll say send finalized form. So the data that I just keyed in is in the form of T1 form, and then I'll just say send. Then you will see in the rows new data is sent in. So this, if I need to access this data from any external application, I need to create a web app script, that is Google web app script, using Google app script. So I will do that. uh, I just need to go to tools and script editor. So when I click on script editor, I'll come to a place like this, where I have created a function. So you can name this function anything you want. So basically what this function does is it handles the request for data from your Google Sheets from other external applications like your website and that kind of stuff. So the first, I'll just describe the chunks of code that is there in this function. These lines basically refer to this Google Sheet. The shared URL that is there is pasted here, and then the remaining three lines basically define the range of cells that you are going to access. So then you are just basically creating a JSON string with the uh, columns that are there in the sheet: the name, age, gender, and income. So I'm not interested in the last, the column that is the instance ID. So and then I basically create a output object, uh, uh, JSON object, and then the callback handler. So I pass on this JSON string to the callback handler as an output. So before I move on, I need to publish this app. So what I do is I publish this app, and then I copy this URL, and then I create my own web page. So in this web page, basically, so this web page has the most basic structure that you can think of. Um, See, apart from the regular HTML structure, I am referring to the jQuery CDN server, uh, and then I'm creating a global variable to the script. I'm referring to the web app script that I just published now, and then I am creating a function called as read value. You can create anything you want with any name you want. Refer to the global variable that you just declared for the script, and then send a JSON request. So why is it JSON request? Why not a regular Ajax GET request? Because your Google Sheet is hosted on a Google domain, and then your web page is hosted on a different domain. In this case, it's my local host. Any cross domain request is going to get blocked by most of your browsers. So the only workaround is through sending a get JSON request. So when you get the JSON value, you're gonna have to access those individual columns, that is the name, age, gender, and income. You're gonna have to fit them into a HTML structure, and then write that into a div. That is what I'm doing here. So then I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so are you looking at the data? It's exactly the same data. So and every time there is a change in data in the Google Sheets, this also gets refreshed. So that is how it is. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you understood, and then I have given the links for all the scripts in the description below. uh, do keep an eye on this channel for more updates. Thank you.